No perfect seasons. What's going on? It's the League Manager Flex. Here bringing you guys the Week 6 edition of the Fantasy Flex. So let's get into it. You got the current standings right now between the North and South divisions. We'll get up into that first. Right now the North division is being headed out by the Orlando Pain with his 5-1 record. Then you got the Florida Sharks and the Bronx Giants, both 4-2, both one game back in the division. Followed by the Woodruff with his 3-3 record. 2 games back in the division, followed up by the New York Hitmen, who are 1-5 currently, 4 games back in his division. Now we move on up into the South division. Funny things going on down here. You got the division right now being headed up by the K-Town Predators with his 5-1 record, and then the rest of the teams are all tied up for second place with 2-4 records. So that means the Tampa Bay Bulls, the Tallahassee Expendables, the Lake Greats, and the 82s are all 3 games back respectively in their divisions. And we'll get up into last week's matchups. Last week's matchups put the Florida Sharks up against the Woodruff. That matchup going to the Sharks, 137-131. Leading scorer for the Sharks, Drew Brees with 28 points. Leading scorer for Team Woodruff was Chris Johnson with 23 points. Following matchup put the Orlando Pain up against the New York Hitmen. The Orlando Pain finally fall down this week to the New York Hitmen, who were 1-5. I think one was 0-5 and the other one was 5-0. So this was definitely an upset here. 127-87 that matchup went. Leading scorer for the Pain was Deshaun Jackson with 19 points. Leading scorer for the Hitmen, Dwayne Bowe with his 23 points on the week. And we jump up into the third matchup of the week. That put the K-Town Predators up against the Tallahassee Expendables. That matchup going to the Predators with a score of 136-105. Leading scorer for the Predators, Peyton Manning. Leading scorer for the Expendables, Eli Manning. 19 points for Eli, 25 for Peyton. Fourth matchup of the week. Let's get up into that one. You had the Bronx Giants taking on the Tampa Bay Bulls. That one going out to the Bulls. Shout out to Mike. He put up the most points last week. 151, doing it crazy. Leading scorer for the Giants, Ben Roethlisberger with 26 points. Leading scorer for the Tampa Bay Bulls was Jeremy Maclin with his 30 points. And that matchup was 151-120, by the way. And in the last matchup of the week, that put the Lake Greats up against the 82s. Still currently looking for an owner for that team. If you know anybody, throw me something on the chat box or whatever. That matchup went to the 82s, 129-119. So that was probably one of the closest matchups of the week between mine and Woody's matchup. Leading scorer for the Lake Greats, Chris Johnson, 24 points. Leading scorer for the 82s, Aaron Rodgers with 82 points. And for that I realized because there's 2 Johnsons on here. The leading scorer for the Woodruff, by the way, was not Chris Johnson. That was Calvin Johnson with his 23 points. I was wondering. However, we'll get up into a preview of this week's matchups. This week, you got the 4-2 Florida Sharks taking on the 5-1 Orlando Pain, followed by the 82s and his 2-4 record taking on the Bronx Giants with their 4-2 record on the week, or on the weeks. Followed up by the 5-1 K-Town Predators taking on the 2-4 Lake Greats. Fourth matchup of the week puts up the 3-3 V Woodruff up against the 1-5 New York Hitmen. And then you got the 2-4 Tampa Bay Bulls taking on the 2-4 Tallahassee Expendables. So both trying to move out of second place, or one's trying to keep in second place and one's trying to stay out of third. However, that has been the Fantasy Flex. I am Flex. Want to thank you guys for tuning in to the shows. Want to thank you guys for keeping active. And like I said, man, like I tell you guys every week, I do this for y'all. Any questions, comments, or anything like that, just go ahead and leave them up inside the chat box or in the league messages. I check those from time to time because they do show up whenever you got transactions and all that in the translog. Like I said, this is your Week 6 edition of the Fantasy Flex. I'm Flex. Flex out. Huh?